Yo! I have returned. I tried talking about this movie back when I looked like this, but those days are luckily over. This is the third out of 30 of the films of my director's list. I will leave the list of directors in the comments. Anyway, Tarantino is potentially my favorite director ever. His style is just so distinct, and every time you watch or rewatch his films, it becomes abundantly clear that this man has pretty much only made classics. Every one of his films were in my contention for this list, but this was the obvious best for me. It's just so iconic and one of the best films ever made. I'm gonna stop yammering about random shit and just dive into this masterpiece. Bro, he's my favorite director. The way that the film is structured is truly unlike anything else. It's distinct in film and distinct in his already distinct works. The film works as this anthology series that's out of order, that the viewer needs to solve, like it's some sort of game. This means the film is not in chronological order, but it feels very much like the film is using a normal story structure with a beginning and an ending, even though that's not the case. The film breaks every possible rule when it comes to format storytelling, and it somehow works to its absolute benefit. It's also amazing how these characters can remain relatable even though they are gangsters. And the reason for this is because they are actually more intelligent individuals that just so happen to be gangsters. This brings me to my following point that is easily the strongest point of the film and Tarantino's style, the dialogue. Somehow Tarantino and Avery managed to make people talk about nothing that progresses the story forward, but somehow making it unbelievably interesting and integral to the experience. These characters just talk with such power and grip over the conversation that it's completely acceptable that it does not affect the character development or plot. This film is shot relatively well with these colors that really pop. It's kind of funny, but this made me think of an early version of a Wes Anderson film based on the colors and the weirdness. I also like the way that the film uses music to its advantage. It uses music very rarely, but when it does come up, the music feels like it has a life of its own, like the music is a character in the film. The next point is gonna sound kind of weird, but I really like how Tarantino, and the film in particular, uses food to its advantage. It might just be the contrast or something, but the food in this movie looks delicious. I don't know. This film is genius, from one of the greatest geniuses in all of Hollywood. Everything here works, and probably will never work the same way again. I love this film to death. I'm gonna give it a 10.